remarks by Barack Obama's former pastor have come to light. Writing in his church's magazine Trumpet in December, the Reverend Jeremiah Wright described the relationship of the Romans to Jesus this way, quote, "The Italians, for the most part, looked down their garlic noses at the Galileans and called the crucifixion, quote, a public lynching Italian style executed in, quote, apartheid Rome." And back in July, he carried a pro-Palestine article written by a Hamas leader in his church newsletter. Nevertheless, Wright's standing with his church remains exceptionally good. How good? Correspondent Jeff Goldblatt has learned some details about how he will live in retirement.
Barack knows what it means to be a black man living in a country and a culture that is controlled by rich white people.
The racially charged sermons of Reverend Jeremiah Wright before his retirement have thrust the longtime senior pastor of Barack Obama's Chicago church into the national spotlight and put the candidate under new scrutiny. Fox News wanted to learn more about the man who suggested 9/11 was payback for U.S. foreign policies and cursed America for its treatment of minorities.
Goddamn America for treating us citizens as less than human.
Fox News has uncovered documents which indicate this 10,000 square foot suburban Chicago 4-bedroom home, now under construction, will soon be the home of Reverend Wright.
Jesus.
While it is not uncommon for an accomplished clergyman to live luxuriously, Wright's retirement residence in this gated golf community is raising some questions. Andrew Walsh is a religion and politics specialist.
Jeremiah Wright himself criticizes people from the pulpit for middle-classism, for too much materialism. So he's entitled to be tweaked here. The question really is, how unusual is this? Somewhat unusual.
According to documents obtained from the Cook County Register of Deeds, Reverend Wright in 2004 purchased 2 empty lots in Tinley Park, Illinois from Chicago restaurant chain owner Kenny Lewis for $345,000. Fast forward to December 2006, documents show Wright sold the property to his church, Trinity United, with the proceeds going to a living trust shared with his wife. The sale price? Just under $308,000, about $40,000 less than Wright's original purchase price for the land 2 years earlier. Public records of the sale show Trinity initially obtained a $10 million bank loan to purchase the property and build a new house on the land. Further investigation, however, with tax and real estate attorneys showed the church had actually secured a $1.6 million mortgage for the home purchase and attached a $10 million line of credit for reasons unspecified in the paperwork. There's apparently nothing wrong with that, according to Shore Bank, which financed the deals, and to nonprofit tax expert Jack Siegel.
At least looking at it from sort of the public document standpoint, there clearly is not a problem that jumps out or some sort of wrongdoing.
Siegel instead characterizes the transaction as unusual because of the way Wright sold the property to Trinity and the way the deal was financed with the attached $10 million line of credit. Because churches are classified as private businesses, Trinity isn't required to reveal its intended use for the $10 million line of credit, nor is it required to provide this information to the IRS because it's a nonprofit entity. Repeated efforts to get a response to this matter from Reverend Wright have been unsuccessful. And Trinity United refused to discuss the specifics of the home it is building for the retired Reverend and the way the deal was financed. Instead, the church referred us to its denominational headquarters in Cleveland, which provided Fox this statement of support. Quote, "It is customary and appropriate in many Christian denominations, including the United Church of Christ, for local churches to offer housing provisions for retiring clergy, especially in cases where pastors have served long-term pastorates."
This is about how these kinds of churches work. And these pastors who made big successful churches are real valuable commodities. Is it morally wrong? Well, Protestants don't have the idea that their religious leaders should live modestly or ascetically. We're not talking Buddhist monks or Catholic priests here. There's no tradition that says they have to live poor.
Instead, tradition at Trinity United centers on a congregation that's unashamedly black and unapologetically Christian, according to the church's website. There are also no apologies from the church for the home it's building for its former pastor of 36 years, who grew a religious empire of more than 8,000 congregants. In Chicago, Jeff Goldblatt, Fox News.
Next on